Okay. Alessandro, you talk, right? Vai tu, Alessandro, no?
Are we on? Okay, so welcome to the award ceremony, the conference. So Massimiliano, I guess you want to play. So Massimiliano and me, you already know us. So in this session, we are going to award different awards. Can you please, so we will award the prize for best paper, best PhD dissertation, best academic tool demonstration, BPI challenge for normal and student categories, process discovery context, and doctoral consortium. So this is going to be a very interesting session. I mean, many of you are working very hard for writing papers, PhD dissertation, tools, competition. So this is a very important moment. So your effort will eventually get the recognition that you deserve. So before doing that, we want to show you what are you missing actually, not coming in presence here in Padova. So since this is a virtual conference, then we are just offering you a virtual tour of the city. So enjoy that. Okay, I guess that now we can start with the ceremony. So Massimiliano, I guess you want to introduce the different awards and also the chair of the committee that were deciding.
Yeah, sure.
If I don't want to make a video like this of myself, I can just make a really cute one of a caricature with me.
Sorry.
I'm Ray Keller, and in this video, I'm going to show you.
Okay, sorry, I forgot to close it. The YouTube. So now we can go to the award ceremony. And these are, as Alessandro already mentioned, these are the different awards that we want to give. We thank again all the chairs for the wonderful, with a strong and wonderful effort that you did to make this happen. Just last comment, I'm really sorry that we couldn't meet in person to share some beers in those sceneries you have seen. I hope that something eventually will be organized by us again in Padua. So there will be another excuse to come here. And some of the things like a piano in the streets is not really made up. I've seen myself before the COVID era. So those are reality of things. So now I'll continue with the different awards. And of course, I will give the words to the different chairs to introduce their prizes. So we start with Best Paper Award, and Marco will talk and introduce it.
Hey, thank you, Massimiliano. So I'm talking here on behalf of the program chairs of the research track of the conference. So also Mo Wien and Bodewan van Dongen. So the Best Paper Award, as you know very well, recognizes one particular contribution of the research track that stood out in terms of technical quality. In this particular case, let me also say, so the paper that we selected, based as usual on the reviews, the discussions, and the content of the paper, stood out not simply because it shows how all the ingredients that we expect of a typical paper of ICPM, so foundational insights, coupled with techniques that are implemented, given back to the community, but also experimented on real data. There was also an additional ingredient that made our life easy here in taking the decision, which was the novelty of the idea. So the fact that now like process mining is being pushed forward different directions, and so the paper contains a lot of food for thought for us as a community. So without further delay, the Best Paper Award went to Yada Tosinezad, Dirk Faland, Ozge Koroglu, and Wim van der Aalst for the paper Detecting System-Level Behavior Leading to Dynamic Bottlenecks. So let's congratulate all the authors, and I hope that you will then read the paper and think about that. And I'm now also referring to the industry part of the conference. So I really hope that this interaction between the industry side and the academic side will continue and shine for our community. So the Best Paper Award comes with like a monetary prize of 1,000 euros, and also with a plate that the authors will receive, thanks to the organization committee.
This, of course, is just like a picture. We will then let you discover how the plaque will look like. So now, thank you, Marco. We can go to the next prize. Still talked by you.
Okay, so here let me just introduce in a minute this activity. So as one of the members of the steering committee of the IEEE task force, I want just to tell to everybody attending the session, this is one of the activity that we are managing. This activity is obviously meant to continue for the next years. And this is an activity that awards the final thesis of a PhD student. And I think this is very important for the community. So the community is made up by a lot of young people who are actively pushing the boundaries of process mining. And so we received 6 theses for reviewing. There was a review panel this year that was coordinated by me. The assessment was organized in 2 phases. So the first phase was based on a careful analysis of the thesis and all the additional material that we required. Let me stress here that we didn't simply consider the academic impact of the thesis, but also the potential impact in the future. So not just which publications were already achieved, but also the potential in terms of future publication, impact into the academic field, but also potential impact in the more practical world. So this was the first phase. We then shortlisted 2 theses, which are then being mentioned by me next. These 2 theses went through a second phase where a subset of the original committee participated to an oral discussion with the candidates. The candidates presented the work, commented on the impact, and then there was a question-answer phase. So the two theses that we selected were really of exceptional quality, and they were really close to each other. So in the end, we selected a winner, but we also decided to explicitly mention the thesis that achieved the runner-up like position. And so in the first slide, you will see the runner-up, and then in the second slide, we will comment on the winner. So the runner-up for the best PhD dissertation award is Farbod Taimuri for the thesis Light Methods for Conformance Checking of Business Processes. Congratulations, Farbod. So this is a thesis that really gives us a Swiss Army knife to attack the problem of conformance checking, in particular conformance checking based on alignments. So Farbod contributed to this very challenging problem by giving us a set of algorithmic techniques to try to find alignments under different constraints, depending obviously on the resources for computation that you have, on the optimality that you want to achieve. Also considering techniques that don't simply return one quote best alignment, but returns multiple alignments at once. And so this is really a shining example of a thesis that takes a problem that was already defined by the community and shows how it can be attacked with many different techniques. So congratulations, Farbod. Let me now move to the winner. So the winner is Zizi Lu for the thesis Using Behavioral Context in Process Mining, Exploration, Preprocessing, and Analysis of Event Data. I think some of you already had the opportunity of actually listening to Zizi, her enthusiasm, but also her like very deep technical results that were achieved in the thesis on Sunday. So this was part of the doctoral consortium day within the ICPM 2020 conference. So the thesis by Zizi, I think, is a really role model example of how you can attack problems in process mining by defining novel ideas, so contributing to the foundations of the field, then developing these in technical terms, so with practical algorithms that are then made part of well-assessed process mining frameworks, so that for the community to use, and also experiment these techniques. In particular, let me mention that Zizi worked on the problem basically of data quality that was extensively discussed during the conference and also in the industry part, giving us techniques to basically process the input data and understand more about the input data, so that then we can be more confident about what we get out from all the process mining techniques that we have. And so this is a very nice example also for future students to see how you can be at the same time broad, but also deep in the results that you get. With this, I thank you again, Massimiliano, for introducing this session. And also I thank all the people who helped us in the process of selecting the prizes. Let me just conclude by saying that the winner will be awarded 500 euros as a monetary prize. We'll also get a plate. And as usual, we invite the winner to have the possibility of publishing the thesis as a monograph in the LNBIP series. This is thanks to an interaction with Springer that happens thanks in particular to Ralph Gessner from their side.
Okay, thank you, Marco. Just one comment from my side. The presentation of Zizi and thesis on Sunday is already available on UVA. So on Sunday, if you go to the session now, you will see that we already edited her thesis and her presentation. So you will be able to see that now.
Thank you, Masi.
So now the word goes to Jochen.
Thank you very much, Massimiliano. First of all, let me congratulate you and the organizing team, Alessandro, as well, for this very nicely organized conference. That was the first thing I wanted to mention. So yeah, in name of the chairs of the demo track, so together with Chiara and Jorge, we will now announce the Best Academic Demo Tool awards. So we've decided that the best looking person would be announcing this award, but unfortunately Chiara declined, so that's why I will be presenting the award. What I want to tell you first is that if you missed the demo presentations on Tuesday, there is still a chance for you to watch or interact with our demo authors on Friday morning. So tomorrow morning at 10:15, there will be an additional session where the 9 different demos that were accepted for this year's track will again present their tool and allow you to interact with them and discuss with them the proposed tools. So overall, we actually received 12 submissions to the tool track and accepted 9 out of those 12. To grant the award, it was a quite competitive affair because we had very nice demos. I also attended several of them on Tuesday, and I must say that there is a lot of very interesting tooling becoming available within the field. So congratulations to all our authors. And then finally, before announcing the award, I would also like to thank, of course, the PC committee of this track, because without their support and especially their timely reviews, this wasn't really possible. So thanks a lot for helping out with the reviewing. All right, now we can go to the announcement of the award winner. Let me just state a couple of the positive comments that we received from the reviewers who reviewed the winner's submission. So first positive comment: very well written paper, very comprehensive tutorial, excellent illustration how the various packages build on each other. New innovative features are added to an already powerful framework. That kind of summarizes the main strong points about the winner's submission. All right, ready to announce the awards. The Best Academic Tool Award goes to Gert Janssens-Wille, Felix Manhart, Matthijs Kremers, Benoit de Peyre, Mieke Jans, Leen Joken, Niels Martin, and Greg van Hout for their tool Extensions to the Bupar Ecosystem, an overview. Congratulations.
Congratulations from our side as well. And this will also.
So with the award comes indeed the monetary prize, and I think Massimiliano, if I'm not mistaken, also they will receive a plate. All right.
Yes.
Thanks a lot. That's all from my side.
We pass now the word to Boudewijn for the BPI Challenge winner and also for the student contest winner.
Thank you, Massimiliano. Yes, as we discussed already on Monday during the workshops and the ceremony there, we had 37 submissions to this year's BPI Challenge, 3 times more than the years before. So it's clear that this is an important contribution, an important aspect of our community. And I would therefore like to take this opportunity to also invite any industry partner listening today to think about contributing data towards this challenge. So the idea of the BPI Challenge is to provide a data set to the community with the explicit question to both students and professionals in this community to show what they can do with this data to answer the questions that a business may have. This year's data came from my home university, looking at the travel declaration process from getting permission to travel to getting a refund or reimbursement of the paid costs. Unfortunately, this process has been extended recently with a new ad hoc process, namely to pay back costs that you got paid back because you could not travel. So for example, my plane tickets to Padova, and the university doesn't have a process for giving that money back. So that's an interesting addition to this data. The winner of the BPI Challenge this year was a report by some people that we know from the community. So Massimiliano, please go ahead. So Richard Hobeck, Louise Poufal, Paul Binetruy, Wepan Chada, Mikola Digitar, Kim Julian Gule, Marta Slarsinska, Fabian Stiele, and Ingo Weber. And they were smart about this. So they took groups of students and they asked them to participate, and together with the supervision team, they actually wrote this report, which answered all the questions that the company had in an extensive way using quite insightful tools. Now, congratulations with that, and like with all the other prizes, there is a monetary award as well as a plaque that will be prepared and sent to you later. And then in the PPI Challenge, we also have a student contest. So we ask teams of students, bachelor, master, or PhD, to also contribute. And typically these reports focus on specific aspects of the questions, or they focus on a non-standard use of tools. And especially in the letter contest, or letter category, this year's student team from Utrecht University, so please go ahead, Massimiliano, Steincast, Ruben Post, and Sebastian Wiewel, they used AutoML in the context of process mining. And although the jury had some remarks about how they specifically used it, it was very nice to see that this is a sort of a new approach towards answering process-related questions. So again, congratulations to you two too. And also here there is a monetary award as well as a plaque involved that will be coming your way.
Thank you, Baldwin. Now we give the words to Eric for the process discovery contest. He's not here.
I can take over if you want. Okay. So this year we had, I think it's the second time we organized the process discovery contest at the ICPM conference. So the goal is it was a little bit differently organized as last year. You received an event log with the question to develop a process mining model. There was the competition that actually people entered was the one where you had to give us the discovered model just based on the data. There was no interaction involved. We had, I believe, 2 submissions. In the end, we had 1 clear winner. And I think you can show that already. I think the winner was Sander Leemans, who used directly Follows Model Miner and achieved pretty good results on the miner. So I would say congratulations to you, Sander, for this nice winning this contest. And you received money. And maybe also a plaque? Yes, indeed.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Benoit. I'm sorry that Eric couldn't join.
No problem.
So now we go to, I guess, you, Tino,
yes.
for the Best PhD Proposal Award.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so this year we also organized the 2nd edition of the ICPM Doctoral Consortium. I'm happy to say we had 9 participants. Together with Claudio, we decided to make it as inclusive as possible, and we had 9 good entries, so we could accept them all. I would like to welcome each and one of those PhD students. Most of them are at the early stage of their PhD, so I would like to use this opportunity to welcome them into our research community. I would also like to thank the jury members who actually read the proposals, who tried to answer the questions of the PhD students and to help them forward in their PhD work. There was some very nice feedback during the sessions, and I'm convinced that the feedback will have an impact on the PhD work that we as a community will see in the next few years. This year, we also decided to reward one of the participants. What we did is we asked all the jury members to evaluate the proposals and the presentations based on one simple question. What do you believe, how big do you expect the impact to be of this PhD proposal within our community? I must say all of them passed, but we had to choose one, which was the winner. This year PhD proposal that actually we believe could have big potential to have an impact was by Riccardo Galanti, who focuses on prescriptive process analytics, but with a focus also on explainability. Congratulations, Riccardo. And of course, there is a monetary prize and a plaque to remember this great victory.
Okay, thank you, Benoit. So this concludes the award ceremony. I just want to thank all the chairs, but also I want to thank all the sponsors because they basically through their sponsorship of the conference made it possible to give these generous prizes to several people. So that's why I want to acknowledge and thank again all the platinum sponsors, the gold and the silver sponsor. Thank you again for your willingness to support this conference. So at this time, from our side, we can conclude here. Now I would like to give the virtual podium to Will for giving me his words about.
So thanks, Massimiliano. So at the opening, I already said a few words. Now we are at a bit of a strange point in the program because I want you all to attend the session later today and all the scientific sessions that are still happening the other days. The timing of this slot is a bit like what the conference dinner would be, but we are here virtually together without a dinner. Also seeing the movie, I think we all regret that we are not able to be in Padova, but who knows, in one of the future years we can go there. So I think the conference so far has been an incredible success. Last year we had around 500 people physically there. This year, as some of us said, we want to double that number. We are now with 2,000, unfortunately only in a virtual sense, but I think it's a great success. If I look at all the interactions, if I look at also the industry day, the panel that we just had, it shows that this is a very, let's say, vibrant community with lots of energy, also lots of young people that can do great things. So I would like to say a bit more about the plans that we have for the next year and the coming year. So perhaps you can move to the next slide, Massimiliano. I already mentioned at the opening that there is this IEEE task force. I think it's important for the whole community to become member. Also, the organizations that are applying process mining technology, I think it's very important that they become a member and become active. We often talk about data quality, and then we look at research and we look at, let's say, commercial tools. But I think also the tool providers, the systems that generate the data should be much more visible in our community and have a role. That's also why we are very happy with the advisory board, where there are, let's say, several people in industry, sometimes representing organizations where there are thousands of people using process mining already. So I think that's a great success. So please go to our website, look at the action lines, also use the communication channels ranging from Twitter to the LinkedIn group, etc. But I think if you can now go to the next slide, Massimiliano. I think although we are still not at the end of the conference, it's good to look forward. In the middle of this slide, you see the ICPM conference next year. Boudewijn will present that in a lot of detail. I think the plans for the conference next year are already very solid, and it shows that we are very well prepared for a new round. Next to the conference, there will be the summer school, the first summer school on process mining organized by the IEEE task force. That will take place in July, and if you go to the URL that you see here, you can see a website with information about speakers, etc. There are also activities related to standardization. In the task force, there is a kind of subgroup that is frequently having discussions on what is probably one of the main hurdles when people start with process mining, getting to the event data. So there are activities around that. There will also be something new. We hope to have the first session this year that is called the Process Mining Circle. And the basic idea of the Process Mining Circle is to better connect academics and tool vendors and industry with each other. I think that's very important. I think this conference already plays a very good role in that, with an industry day and a panel discussing topics. I think there are very few examples in academic research where the innovations in research are so quickly adopted in all kinds of tools. So I think this is something very nice, but also something that we can still improve on. And I think it's very important. One cannot do process mining without processes, data, and problems. So we need industry to also be active in this community. Then if you look at the list of other things, there will, of course, again, be many workshops, the BPI workshop at BPM, but also there will be a call out soon for the workshops of ICPM in Eindhoven. So please submit your proposals. There is also a continuous stream of special issues of journals where you can publish your research. If you look at the slide, you can see that there are two. Perhaps there are more that I missed. But one, process mining at the enterprise level, and the other one focused more on healthcare. Then there are the contests. We have just seen the prizes, so that will be an ongoing activity. As a side result of these contests, we also have data sets that are then used in papers and you use in all kinds of benchmarks. I think that is very important. There is also the newsletter that is being created. Please provide input. The goal is that we are building a community where we can exchange information very quickly and in a very, let's say, pleasant and entertaining way. And the goal, our common goal that we have all together is, let's say, to push forward the boundaries of process mining and at the same time making sure that this is adopted. On the other hand, there are other, let's say, forces that try to make some confusion. And so we are thinking about new activities like a new manifesto, etc. If you have any ideas, just let us know. Look at, let's say, the pointers that I gave before. I would like to end again by thanking everybody for making this possible, specifically the local organizational team, and specifically Massimiliano, who has had a very stressful half a year after him. And so I hope he will recover in the weeks after the conference. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you, Will, and nice to see all these wonderful initiatives, starting from the process mining school and continuing later with the ICPM 2021, which brings a perfect link towards Boudewijn van Dogen, who will be the general chair. And then, so now I give the virtual podium and the screen to Boudewijn to show what's going to happen in Eindhoven. Thank you. I stop sharing.
Yes, thank you, Massimiliano. So for those of you who are wearing headphones, I suggest that you lower your volume. I will start by a small introduction of the city of Eindhoven, where next year ICPM 2020 will take place.
Everything that is really great and inspiring is created by the individual, who can labor in freedom. always operate on the intersection of individualism and regulation. Whenever in doubt, anarchy prevails.
Yeah, so I'm going to welcome you next year, hopefully live in what is no longer called the City of Light, but now the City of Innovation. I'm very pleased to present to you the team for next year's ICPM conference. The PC chairs, Pnina, Chiara and Claudio, or PCC as they call themselves, have generously agreed to serve and do the difficult task of selecting the best papers for presentation on this conference. And I'm very certain that they will do an excellent job. Together with the publicity chair, Felix, workshop chairs, Xisi and Jorge, well, we just found or saw Xisi in one of the slides. So I guess she's quite happy to serve in another role next year. Then we have the demonstration chairs, Gert and Anna, who are both going to select the best tools to showcase us. Hayo and Rafael will take care of the industry day, as the setup will be similar as this year, 1 day of presentations or of scientific work, then an industry day, followed by one academic day again. And then the doctoral consortium will be led by Fabrizio and Mieke. Now, some of you have been to Eindhoven before, some of you have not. We decided to go ahead and assume this is going to be a full live conference. Although nobody will be sad not seeing Eindhoven, next year, if we have to go virtual, I still would prefer to actually have a live interaction with all of you. We're hosting this conference in the university itself. So we have conference facilities for both workshops as well as the main conference. And this will allow us to, if necessary, also schedule or switch to a sort of hybrid or maybe even an online event if it's really not otherwise possible. But let's simply hope for the best. The TUI campus is in walking distance from hotels, train stations and bars in Eindhoven. And the train will take you to the airport or to the airport in Amsterdam. The bus will take you to the Eindhoven airport. And from there, the world is literally at your feet. So it's easily done to take a weekend to go to Barcelona or to spend a weekend in Berlin when you actually are based in Eindhoven. So in that sense, Eindhoven is a great place to not only enjoy the scientific conference and enjoy the industry day and get in touch with some of the companies that are based. You may have heard that today. UiPath is literally on the way from the train station to our campus. So you can meet the companies there as well. Eindhoven has more to offer than just the TUI campus. So one of the things that Eindhoven is actually famous for is the Glow Festival, which is held every year. Unfortunately, this year it had to be cancelled because the social distancing rules could simply not be guaranteed. But it will be again next year, and it will be the week after ICPM. So when we organize the conference, we schedule this from November 1 to 4, but Glow Festival is being held from November 6 to 14. So I really invite you to think about your planning and to maybe take another week to enjoy one of the great festivals. And to give you a bit of a flavor and to make sure that we close this session on time, as Massimiliano has asked us time and time again to do, I'm going to conclude with a small video of what you can expect if you actually visit the Glow Festival. They're already counting down to ICPM. So I hope to see you all next year at ICPM 2021. So please join us at the Eindhoven University of Technology next year, November.
Okay, thank you, Baldwin. I think this closes the session. So this gives a bit of more time for a longer break towards the next session. At 4, indeed, we will start again with a research track. And so for my side, for Alessandro, no, Alessandro, you want to say the last word?
Yes, enjoy the coffee. It's on us, but you pay.
Yes. So, okay, so this concludes the award ceremony. Congratulations to all the winners, and great job again from all the chairs. And see you in half an hour for the next research track session. Bye for now.
Thank you to everybody.
Ciao, grazie.